Hey everyone, welcome to a new park showcase video. In this video I will show you the park Storybrook Glen. It's a park from a group of players from NE who call themselves the Replacements. I believe it's a remnant of a team that once was made for their H2H contest. But yeah, they banded together and created this huge park. It doesn't have custom scenery, it uses one custom vehicle, but yeah, I really enjoy some of the stuff that I found in this park, so that's why I decided to make a video about it. Now, once again I will start at the entrance, and I will just go through the park. Let's go counterclockwise. And yeah, I will just try to highlight the nicest parts of the park as we go through it. Now, first off, this park is huge. Let me quickly check how big it is. Almost 150 tiles. That's pretty big. It's about the size of Mount Ducklink, I believe. So yeah, let's just start over at the entrance. Well, I love these buildings here. Also, lots of paths here, but they're nicely broken up with these planters here and these palm trees. Some really cool decorations here. Also like how I did these pillars here, using these grave monuments. Also these wooden roofs above it. So yeah, just a nice entrance here. Well, I will quickly also go to the parking lot, which is over here. Well, of course it's nice that there's this big coaster next to the parking lot. That for sure will get the people who arrive here excited for the park. Yeah, this parking lot is it's just done really nicely. Yeah, just done using, I believe it uses these lattice walls. Just your typical way to do this, or maybe there's a different kind of wall in between these paths. There are no cars here, but I also checked and they've used up pretty much all the ride slots that are available. So yeah, it doesn't look like there was any option to add cars here, and they probably had to compromise in several places of the parks because they could not add any more rides. Probably also why there's just a few ride slots used for shops and stalls. I wouldn't be surprised if they also copied and pasted a few. It's also something I did a lot in my mega park. Okay, yeah, here was the entrance. I like all these decorations here. Also a little pond here. Lots of these canvas roofs in lots of places. So here's the entrance building. From here, the guests continue on to the rest of the park. But it looks like they can also take a ride here to this side of the park. Well, I will just go to the right, and I'll follow the guests over here. Here's a really nice ride. Let's see what it's called. I'll have to pause the game to actually be able to select the car. Either Ride the Sky. No, it does seem a little bit tricky for these cars to pass under these supports. That seems a bit yeah, small. But the structure of the ride, I think it looks incredible. It's really, yeah, it's really a fun ride to watch as it goes along here. And the decorations here are also pretty cool. So this part of the park looks like it's in a Roman or a classical theme. Now, of course, the main focus of this area is the B&M Wing Coaster. So this is the only ride where they used a custom vehicle. But yeah, this is just a cool layout. So the trains leave the station here, and they go up this lift hill. And as is typical in one of these wing coasters, they start with one of these half loops. Not really sure what they called this element again. Roll over or something. Not really sure. But yeah, typically these wing coasters start by going really slowly through one of these inversions. I've ridden several of these wing coasters myself, and I always find these coasters really enjoyable. Okay, just several more inversions here. Also some nice helixes. I really like this element here that they made. Kind of like an inclined loop almost. Something that's also quite nice is these backstage areas that they made. So you can see all these paths going under these coasters in these areas. So I assume those paths are used to transport goods, to the backstage areas of the park. Okay, here in the corner we have another ride. Looks like we have a water dark ride here. It's completely enclosed in this building. I like that they made a little cutout here in this area. So here's a really nice looking ship. It looks like they also used part of a loop here to actually make part of the ship. That's really creative. So it's fun that you can actually see inside here for a bit. The layout looks a bit messy. But yeah, this would probably be a really fun ride to ride. Not really sure if they have also decorated the inside. I'm just going to take a quick look. Yeah, it doesn't really look like they did. But the parts which you can see from the outside, they're pretty cool. And also the shape of the building, I think it's quite nice. And I also like these structures that they put here on top of the roof. Also a really nice fountain here. That looks really cool. Okay, well, this was the classical Roman area. It looks like they also made an Egyptian area here. So this area at the park also has several rides. Here's a ride called Anubis. No, I think that's really cool how they put this Sphinx inside the pyramid here. Anubis, yeah, it's one of these junior coasters with a really long train. Kind of reminds me of that coaster at Knott's Berry Farm. Well, I forgot what is the name, but they also have a coaster that travels through a big area of the park. Has really long trains, and yeah, it's a nice family ride that gives you a great view of the park. And I wouldn't be surprised if that ride's also what inspired this one. Now here's a pair of these launch freefall towers. One actually climbs up to the top and then drops down, and the other one gets launched up. It's really cool how they are situated inside this helix of the coaster. Also some nice stalls here using these monorail trains. That's really nice. And there's also another coaster here. This kind of looks like one of those El Loco coasters. So a typical short layout with some inversions, vertical drop, etc. Kind of a cookie cutter layout. I think they did a really nice job on these supports here. Yeah, these supports are custom and they're done in a really nice way. Also a log flume here that goes through this area. Yeah, also a steep drop here with the splash boats track. A splash zone here. Not really a great view for guests to see this splash area here. But I guess this one's more about the ride experience rather than people being able to see it from a path. Okay, then here there's another dark ride here. There's this one uses these monster trucks as vehicles. Again, there's a cutout in the building here, so you can look inside. This looks like one of those typical, kind of like the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland. Something you could compare it with, I guess. Well, yeah, but the area which you can see here, I think it's done in a really nice way. Some of this fire, yeah, it just really looks like a very adventurous ride. The building itself also has really nice details. They used this sign here for a door, made some garage doors here. So this looks really good. So I said it earlier, but there's these backstage areas here throughout the park. I think that's a really nice detail. You can also see a farm here in this corner of the park. Some of these farming machines here. Also some greenhouses. And next to the farm also some areas with just trees. So yeah, I think that's a really good detail. I like this little farm area here in the corner. Okay, then from this Egyptian area we can go over here. This is the center of the park. Now they made one of these they call it the Flying Circus. It's one of these rides. I believe there's one at the Efteling, where normally it starts here at the bottom. It's kind of like a rotating observation tower, let's call it that. So it starts here at the bottom, then at some point the arm slowly goes upwards, and then the guests get a great view of the park while suspended up in the air. I think it's really cool how they did this ride. It's really believable, and you can, at least I could immediately recognize it for what it is. I also love this asphalt patch that they made here with this circular fence around it. Really nicely done. Okay, since we're in the center of the park, I'll stay around here for a bit. There's one of these super duper loopers here. I already checked this ride out for a bit. This is an interesting shoestring. Couldn't really figure out how it was done, but the ride works quite nicely. Here in the middle, there's this area. Kind of also use these classical things. Not really sure. It's headband, so it's probably a Mexican area. Probably also explains these the colors of these flags. Now that's also something I really like here. So they used these flying or these suspended mini suspended flying coaster cars, and they all colored them in the colors of the Mexican flag, and they actually look like flags that are hanging here, or these decorations. This is a really cool trick. I really like how they did that here. Now there's also a coaster in this area here. It looks like the standard Batman layout. They called it El Condor. Typical inverted coaster layout. What I really like is how they did the supports for the lift hill here. They used a lot of signs here to actually make the supports. So that's really creative. I've seen a few more people do it for their inverts, and I always really enjoy the way this looks. Let's move on to this area over here. So it looks like from the Mexican theme we go to this area here called Sherwood Forest. So this is more of a Middle Ages theme. There's a big wooden coaster here. So station is over here. There's a bit of a small helix here before it goes up the lift hill here. I really enjoy this first drop here. So first it does a bit of a dip, then goes up again, and then there's the main big drop. Just a really nice layout. I really like the way they did the supports for the coaster here. Yeah, just a cool layout. Also nice decorations. Nice transfer track they did here. Although it does look a little bit short for these trains. Now, let's move on a bit. Here's a really cool thing. So I believe this is still part of the Sherwood Forest area. Yes, it is. And they made this looks like a theater here called the Globe. You can see an entertainer here. This is really nice. I guess the guests would normally be sitting in these cars watching the show that goes on here. I really love the way this building looks. There's also some nice layering here of these walls. Yeah, it just looks really good. Love it. Okay. Then over here we have an area with a big castle. So there's a big custom flat ride here. It's called, that's the catwalk. Trebuchet. And the track here is called Observation Medieval Sky SWAT. So probably this is a Sky SWAT ride. Now I don't really know what a Sky SWAT ride is, but I assume this beam here in the middle, which the cars sit on, would normally move up here to the middle, and then it would rotate in some way. That's just my guess. But yeah, it's really detailed. I really like the way they did all these different track pieces on it, and it just looks really good. Also, the queue around it, yeah, it's great, great detail. Okay, there's also a merry go-round here in the middle. I believe there's another dark ride here, again with a cutout, so you can actually look inside. Yeah, it looks like the inside of a castle. You can see a big dining hall here, with decorated with this chandelier, which is made of roto-drop vehicle. There's so many cool tricks in this park. It's incredible. Also, I love the way they did the entrance for that ride here with this castle. And this part of the castle actually has the station for this big Morgan, this Morgan hyper coaster. This coaster is really, really huge, and it goes all along the parking lot here. Now, these supports for the coaster, quite done in a quite simple way. What I really like is these cross beams they made, but also with these steel fences on top. That just makes them stand out a little bit more. I think this looks really good. Also, a nice catwalk here next to the lift hill, made with this mini golf track. Just a lot of cool details here. So lots of these observation towers used for supports here, also with some of these cross beams. Yeah, I think they did a really nice job here. Also the layout of the coaster. It's just, yeah, I guess it's typical of what you would expect of a Morgan hyper coaster. Location next to the parking lot. I think that's also a great choice. Okay, then if we move on a bit, then here we have this water coaster. Let me try to select a vehicle to see what it's named. Journey to El Dorado. So I'm not really sure, but this could still be part of the Mexican area. So I believe here's the station. Yep. First it goes up this small lift hill with a short drop, and then it splashes down into the water here. And then after that there's a second larger lift hill. There it does several helixes, and it goes up here, and then here there's the final splash into the water. You can also see a little viewing area here. Also some of these cannons. I guess could use these cannons to actually spray water over to the coaster. Not really sure, but that would be a fun idea. I think they did an incredible job here on the station. This is decorated in a really nice way. So I love these pillars that they made, and how open the station is. Yeah, lots of quarter tile pieces to decorate it. Really nice job. Okay, here's a big area of buildings. I guess this is areas where guests can grab something to eat. Yeah, there's lots of shops and stalls here. I see a saloon here as well. I guess this is also where the park transitions into a Wild West area. Because here, over on this side, it still looks kind of like the Mexican area. And then over here there's a saloon and more of these Wild West style buildings. That's an interesting transition here. Maybe it would have been good to actually have sort of a gate here to make the transition more... yeah, now it's... I think now this transition is a little bit strange. With a gate, it probably would have been less sudden. But still, I do like the way they did all these buildings. So it looks like a nice cluster. Now here's a ride that I really enjoyed. So this is one of those swinging rides called High Plains Drifter. What I really like about this ride is how it actually travels around this spiral slide. And what I like most is how they actually used this Enterprise here on top of the building as decoration. That's really clever. It looks really good as the roof for this ride. Now, this looks like another show building here. You can see some entertainers here. So yeah, this show building also really well done, really nicely decorated. And here's another coaster. This is a spiral coaster. These are coasters you don't see very often in people's parks. So it's always nice to see one of these rides pop up again. So here's the lift hill. You can see the coaster travel up here. And then this is apparently quite an old coaster. These coasters are not typically built anymore. But yeah, that's probably also why it has these shallow hills. But yeah, a very nice layout. Also, I really enjoyed the way they did these supports here. They simply used these scenery parts, these sloped beams, and the way they did that, I think that looks that looks really good. So a nice queue that travels under here. Also some backstage areas here. Yeah, just really well done. And a really believable layout for this type of coaster. Okay, I think we went all around the park. Well, there's also some dodgems here, looks like. And there's also a river rapids ride that I completely missed. It's actually under the inverted coaster here. Let's see what it's called. Ripsaw River Run. So probably still part of this this area over here. There's also this looks like there's also a sawmill here, because you can see a conveyor belt here which carries some of these log flume logs. And to make the conveyor belt, looks like they used the front vehicles of the air-powered vertical coaster, but then a lot of them. Okay, that was this huge park from the replacement. Yeah, just a lot of really cool tricks used in this park. It must have taken quite a while to make all of this, even though I read that they made it in 15 minutes. Yeah, right. Probably a joke. So yeah, really nice park from the replacement. Really enjoyed it, and it's just amazing work. Really great job, guys. Okay, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.